Hello friends, look at this glorious garden. I figured it's like the height of the beautiful season for the garden, so I thought I'd take you along with. The wild grape trellis is absolutely trashed, as we've already knew. I'm going to have to cut it so that I can untangle the vines from it. I don't want to cut the vine. I would have to cut the vines like all the way back to here and lose all of that. So we're looking for ways to replace it with something sturdier. But the garden is so gorgeous right now. The cilantro is turning to coriander. The blooming season is over, and I will have thousands upon thousands of cilantro seeds, also called coriander. They taste amazing. If you could imagine cilantro with a little bit of maybe the slightest touch of lime or zest and a touch of pepper, the green coriander are amazing. This apple tree is doing really nicely. He's probably 12 feet tall now. I have noticed I've got to take this branch out because you see how it's rubbing and it's not at a good angle. You want branches at about this angle. So he'll have to get pruned. I'll probably do that in the autumn or at the beginning of winter. You don't want to do it too soon in the south, because if it's warm enough, which our winters are getting so weak now, that it could be warm well into December, and if it's warm, it'll try to regrow, and then it'll lose all that growth to frost. So here's one of my Mullein volunteers, and my black-eyed Susans are just breathtaking. Here's my other apple, not doing so well. I think I have sprayed them both the same amount, but this one seems to be having a worse time with the apple cedar rust, and he's only maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. Now my mulberry, I was going to take this guy out, and then he fed me berries. So I've been reluctant to take him out, and he's got to be coming up on 20 feet tall. The alliums there, the garlic are doing really well. The hazelnuts are getting really big. Elderberry getting ready to actually turn into berries. I love this stage when there's still some white flowers, and then there's the little green umbels, and then those, and then a lot of them are turning purple. It's so beautiful. Grapes are doing incredible. We are dealing with the invasive Japanese beetle that eats the heck out of, there he goes. That's their defense, is to tumble when they get disturbed. The way to kill them is to get a bucket of water. Well, it's just like with a few inches of water at the bottom, just like 2-3 inches of water, and enough for them to get caught, and they'll be swimming. You put the bucket underneath them and just startle them. They'll fall into the bucket, and then you can take a trowel and crush them, because they are crushing your garden. And the other way is if I can manage it, is to go from underneath and use the leaf to squish them. Got it. I'm seeing a lot. This is just wild through here. I have not planted anything in this area. Of course, the black-eyed Susans are doing their thing everywhere. They're amazing. They're amazing. I mean, just look at that. The wild rose has also gotten eaten up with different bugs, but because it's wild, it will always come back. And it's pretty much done blooming. Oh, look at that. It's got one little tiny bloom. The blueberries are doing pretty well. I did pick all of the little proto blueberries because I moved them this year. For them to try to actually grow berries would be too much for them. too much strain, so I picked off all their blueberries. And I've got to figure out some kind of netting for next year for when they begin to produce fruit, because of course the birds have discovered them now, and so they get all the fruit. This is the dock that I planted for greens, to use as greens, and I did eat some of the greens. So it's flowering now. And I've done a lot of work on this area. Oh, well, look at that. I got to cut down. Here's the butch clover. I've been finding it all over the garden. Highly invasive. I let it grow last year not knowing what it was. It was so beautiful, but it grew so fast. And I'm finding it all, it was just here for 1 year, and now I'm finding it all over my garden. So it's a very, you know, it's just almost like kudzu. You know, oh, it's so pretty. Like, yeah, well, it's pretty until it eats your face. And I gotta come back out here with clippers and pull up the crepe myrtle. This is the one that grows too close to the house. I've done a lot of work in this area lately. This is semi-wild over here. A lot of the solidago, the goldenrod. This is also my asparagus row. I planted them by seed, and by gum, a lot of them have done really well. And again, look at the grapes. Look at the grapes. It makes me so happy. They're doing nicely. But I needed to get this guy clear of the weeds that were around him, because he's a relative of apple, close enough that he gets the apple cedar rust. This is serviceberry. So he's recovered. I thought he was dead, but he's recovered. Also, the Monarda, the bee balm, needs air to circulate. You can see it's got a mildew. It'll survive that, but so yeah, I got a lot of clearing done. See, here's one of those bush clovers, not good. But here's one of my asparagus. Look at that. Here's another one. That makes me so happy that they're growing all along here. I really do want to have perennial. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, look at that. I want to have perennial flower gardens. I mean, perennial vegetables as well. So here's the other serviceberry that actually did try to produce some serviceberries, and I didn't get it sprayed well enough or early enough, so I didn't realize how early it bloomed. And so these are ruined by the apple cedar rust. Canna banana corner, trying to rescue this. There's the elderberry from the other side. I wanted to show you also Inky, my pokeweed plant, is making his comeback. I had cut him down to the ground, and he's doing nicely, making his comeback. So that's the garden, the state of the garden right now. Golly, here's another one. I've been picking these guys all week. But just look at these. I'm going to actually move some of those cone flowers over here at some point. But I just love these. I love these flowers so much. The other exciting thing, oh yeah, almost forgot. Gladioli. Gladioli. I'll probably bring those in tonight for a bouquet in the house. A Juneteenth bouquet. Look at these guys. Oh, they're facing the wrong way. Look at them. Look, I have to step across now. Whoa, it's in 3D. Oh my goodness. This red one, look at that. Glads are from South Africa, which has a similar it's a similar latitude south as we are north, so they can thrive here. The oh, I just scared a bee. I'm sorry. The garlic flowers are mostly done. And what happens next is they turn into like little tiny garlic cloves. And they're very flavorful, very garlicky. So I'll probably bring in one of these flowers once it's mostly turned to the little tiny garlic cloves, and I'll just cook with it. So here we go. Pan around. Cannas, they're suffering from the beetles as well, but they'll survive. They always do. Oh, look at these. Look at these guys. Aren't they glorious? Yep. All right, thanks for coming with me on this update of the Square Spiral Garden.